That looks like a ladybug to me.
Is it the ladybug? Did it come back? It was on my
No,
leg.
I put it
made me scared.
outside.
I know, but it kind
Did you bring just a bunch of ladybugs
Maybe
into my
I
apartment,
did.
Jenna? Hello, bookworms, bibliophiles, and lovers of all things literature, and welcome to the next chapter of the Brawless Book Guild podcast, where we discard our bras and our dust jackets and talk about books both published and unpublished. We are your hosts, Jenna.
Hi, guys.
I'm Marissa, and this is Megan.
Hello.
And this is the first successful one we've done in a while.
Hey.
Woohoo.
Before we get started and get into the topic, let's all talk about what we're drinking. So, Jenna, what are you drinking today?
I'm drinking apple cider. I skipped the tea. I just thought apple cider sounded good. It's almost hot season, so I'm just going to enjoy my hot beverage while I can.
Yeah.
Even though I got snow like 3 days ago.
Right. It's
Yeah.
almost hot season anyway.
Yeah, but I've got my AC running right now because it was like 77 degrees in my apartment.
Oh, it was, when I left, it was 46.
Yeah.
But I'm also higher elevation than you guys.
Yeah, it was probably like 50 or 60 something outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
But in your apartment.
My apartment, just for some reason, it gets so hot in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the worst place for you.
Yeah, and I can't leave my door open because, as you hear, we have like this motorcycle shop across the street, so we get the motorcycles and
Yep.
yeah, it just doesn't work. Anyways, cider. What about you, Megan? What are you drinking today?
I'm drinking a sugar-free drinking chocolate that I am trying out to see if I can do that over Nestle hot chocolate.
Taking a risk on that. And then I am drinking Bigelow's peppermint bark because I still have some of that left over. And once again, let's get all of our cold weather drinks out of the way before we get into the warmer weather.
Right. Pretty soon we're going to be like, iced tea lemonade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And iced.
And blizzards.
Yeah.
We can't do blizzards again.
Never again.
No. That was rough.
All right, so today we are going to be discussing book covers, and we're going to be judging a bunch of books by their covers and talking about why we do so, even though the saying says not to, and basically just getting into a bunch of stuff. Megan knows a lot about artists and stuff like that do book covers, and I think it'll be a lot of discussion just on that in and of itself too.
Yeah.
We kind of delved into this last week's episode on like why you don't buy a specific cover.
Yeah, we did that like quick question thing of what makes you not buy a book, judging it by its cover.
And then we thought we have a lot to say about this.
Yeah.
Which we do. A whole episode's worth.
Yeah.
We're hoping.
It's gonna be 10 minutes and we're gonna be like, and this was a great topic. But Megan, why don't you get us started in the book cover world?
Okay, so as you know, book covers like go through trends, and I feel like the current trend is like the cool like typography with like a crown symbol or something, or like leaves, and it's like kind of abstract, so you don't technically know what it's about. I don't really like those because I like to know what I'm getting into. So I always go for my all-time favorite artist is Charlie Bowater. And she's done book covers such as like the Aurora Rising series. She did the Princess Will Save You series. She's done a ton. Enchantment of Ravens. You've definitely seen her work out there. Mm-hmm. And I feel she's very recognizable in her art style. But she is one that I will, if she does a cover, I will buy it. Because my goal in life is to have an entire Charlie Bowater like shelf. But the problem with that is some of those books that she has done them for are not very good. So yes, I 100% judge a book by its cover. If it's Charlie Bowater, I want it.
Yeah.
I will dragon hoard these covers just because of her. Will I read all of the books? Probably not.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because you're not the type of person that will necessarily read the back of the book to know about it. So
yes, that is the problem. So I don't even know, but she does I think she mostly exclusively does fantasy stuff, and since that's 99% of what I read, Like if she did a romance, I would be like, what?
Yeah.
Are we in the Twilight Zone or something? But yeah. So for fantasy books, I should say, the current trend is like the words. So I'm thinking of like Powerless.
Yeah.
The way that Powerless is written is like white blocky letters. And then there's like this just like design on it, on the
Yeah.
background kind of
Well,
thing.
even I was thinking, I just read The
Light
Trial
work.
of the Sun Queen.
Yeah.
And it has that, and that has almost the inheritance game style where it's like the words and then like little symbols all around it. And
Yes.
stuff like that.
And that's the trend, which, like, if you read the book and look at the cover, you kind of know what it's about, especially for, like, inheritance games. But I want books that tell a story. And if you do that with, like, illustrated characters, you can, like, really get that story.
The problem I have with like illustrated characters on covers, and it's not like our question from last time where if there's an illustrated character I'm not getting the book, but the problem I have with characters on the cover of a book is that it now puts a preconceived idea in my head of what this person looks like.
I like that, though, because then it's a movie now.
Yeah.
And there's the cast. But
It's
Yeah.
also it bothers me when I start reading it and I'm picturing them differently, and then I close the book and I go, "That's not you."
who are you?
Yeah. So, like I said, it's not an end all be all type thing for me, but it does. If I'm reading the book and I'm not picturing this person on the cover, it kind of ruins the cover for me.
Episode title suggestion: new cover. Who dis?
I have it saved under a cover up or something like that.
Ooh, that's a good
Yeah.
one too.
I love it.
That's a good one. I agree with you. Like, if I do have, like, before there's, like, character art, if it's not on the cover, and I have the preconceived notion of what they look like and how I imagine them in my brain, and then I see fan art, and I'm like, nah,
Yeah.
that's not it. Like, there was a whole trend where Manon from Throne of Glass, like, the new trend is now she's Asian. And I was like, oh, we're
She
trying
had,
to
like,
make it more
White hair, though.
inclusive. Asians can have white hair. Have you ever
Yeah.
seen K-pop?
I'm just
Okay.
a lot
Asian-
of people don't have naturally white hair unless they're like much older.
Yeah, I guess I just like imagine
Or
her
albino.
as very, very maybe albino or pale, like almost Swedish or something. I think what I love right now, I love that especially now with the growing trend of having special editions and stuff like that, is that if you have covers that you don't love, that you have other options out there.
Okay, yes, I do agree with that.
Like
Big sigh.
I
and
know.
then immediately agrees.
Special editions are getting out of hand, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I want them all. I don't have the money for it. But I agree with that in that, like, have been some covers where I was just like, I really don't like this cover. Like, The Cruel Prince,
Right.
the Owl Crate version of it was not good.
no,
Compared to the original covers, they were so good. And, like, Owl Crate just did us dirty
Yep.
with that cover.
yeah, I didn't like the cover of that.
So, but then you just go to another book box and you're like, I want your cover. And they're just like, here you go. And I'm like, yeah, that's real pretty.
I think especially now that with the prevalence of ebooks and Kindle and stuff like that, and especially now, I mean, personally, that I end up using Libby so much, it gives me more of the ability to be like, if I really love this series, then I can go and get the special edition of these books and like decide what kind of books I want for them. Whereas before it's like, I don't know, 10 years ago, it was just whatever book's out you get, that's what you get. And then half the time, then you'd buy like two of the books. Like it happened to me with Ember in the Ashes. The first two books
Oh my gosh.
are paperback. And then I got the next two books as they came out, so they're hardcover.
With
but-
completely different designs on the covers.
Well, they're the same design, but now the paperbacks, you can't find the hardcovers to match the first two. Because I'm pretty sure they were only paperbacks at the time.
So An Ember in the Ashes went through like 4 iterations of covers
Yep.
now. So the first one was like the doorway and like the little tiny silhouette of the figures, right? That's what you have?
I have
Or do you have the illustrated characters?
the illustrated characters.
Okay.
Yeah.
But right, like you said, you can't get the hardcover versions.
Right.
So you can suffer with paperback.
I have 2 paperbacks and 2 hardcovers, and it drives me absolutely bonkers.
But Now she just announced that there is a new addition to the cover.
Yeah.
I think that they're incredibly boring. And if I had seen those, because I think it's just like black and like blue. And then it literally just says, an ember in the ashes, and like the silhouette of a dagger on it. And I saw those and I was like, I would not buy those if I was in Barnes & Noble. I would 100% skip over those. They fade into the background. We talked about that, where if it doesn't stand out, you're just going to pass by.
Yeah.
So
the funny thing is, for me, it's like sometimes I can do like the simple covers or whatever if something else is interesting about the book. Like, I can do simple covers if they have really beautiful sprayed edges.
Okay.
Or a really beautiful naked book without the dust jacket, and the dust jacket is just simple. It's like, okay, I can live with this because it's beautiful in another way. But if it's just boring and has white-edged paper, then I'm probably not going to pick the book up to be interested to read. Unless the title is really interesting. Then I'm like, wait, what?
I like the book covers that you don't realize why they have something to do with the book until you read the book, or they have like little Easter eggs in the cover that you can find.
Oh, I love those.
Those are the ones that I really like, because it's like, yeah, it might just be like the text big and then like there's like this weird design on the side, but like when you look at the design closely, you see like little things in it that you're like, oh, that's so-and-so's weapon, or that's so-and-so's thing, their family
Why did this
emblem,
make
or
me think of your guys' murder mystery thing from the camping trip, where you ended up having to use the box to figure out
that
the
was
clues?
so good. That was so much fun.
like the entirety of that murder mystery was everything they gave you was a clue.
Yeah.
And like including the cover of the box that you had to put stickers on. It was so cool.
No.
I still have another one that we haven't played. Just saying.
We just
Imagine
need to spend an entire day together.
We did it
imagine,
before. We
though-
could do it again.
Imagine though a book that was written where the cover ended up playing a part. Like, imagine if the cover told you a story. That would be great.
I took a metafiction class in college where one of the books was what's it called? Illuminate Files.
Oh, yeah.
The cover straight up is part of the book. Like
Right.
it's you take off the dust jacket and there's like the part of the start of the case file, but then when you put the dust jacket on, the way it's designed is that there's see-through parts. You can actually see like specific words.
Yep.
Anyway, but in the metafiction class, one of the books that they gave us was a book that is a box, but it looks like a book, but it's like a secret book or whatever. So when you open it, the pages are all loose. And so if they all fall out and you have to put them back together, it still tells a story, but it's like different. But some of the pages are also like have the words like cut out, and you could like put it on top of the cover to see.
Oh, interesting.
It's crazy.
I wish I could remember this book because I saw it on Book Talk and I saved it, but it was so long ago that I don't remember what it was. But it's like you open the book and it's like that, where it's like it's got like loose pages and stuff like that in there. And basically you're reading from the perspective of somebody who found this book as a librarian and is trying to solve a mystery within this book.
Oh,
And
that's
there's like
fun.
codes and stuff in there. It's crazy.
Oh,
I'll
that
have
sounds
to
cool.
see. I doubt it was my book or the one that I have. I still have it. It's at my parents' house. I'll bring it over
Yeah.
next time we hang out. But yeah, we'll have to take a look at that one.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I
So
remember
Go
when
ahead.
I was at probably like 6th grade, 5th grade or something, and they had the Scholastic book fairs. I bought a book one time and I really loved it. And it was, if you read the book one way and it was like something happened, and then you flipped it over and you read it the other way and a different option had happened. I think it was something as simple as like she had missed the bus or she had caught the bus.
Yeah.
And the way her day turned out based off of that. And it was really cool.
I like cool little books like that.
Yeah.
It's like one of the, it's like what I always say is the way I judge a book by its cover, I judge a book by its title. If you've got a very attractive and weird and interesting title, like How to Murder Your Employer, I'm going to want to read that because I'm like, what is this book going to be about? Or if you're reading this, then I'm already dead. I need to know.
Yep.
or what was the one when you were a kid?
When you're a kid.
Or you said when you were younger and you read it and it was snogging and
Oh,
what
no,
was
no,
it?
that
that's
was me.
Jenna's.
Angus
Oh, that's
songs
Jenna.
and full frontal snogging. Yep. Yep. Angus was her cat.
Yeah. but that's what grabs me usually is the title. So it's like, even if the cover is like a boring, just like, white cover with black writing or whatever, if the title's interesting, I'll pick it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing, especially now where the title is like almost the only thing on a book cover anymore. The title has to catch my attention, and more often than not, what's kind of sucks is that we were going through a phase where everything was the same.
Yeah.
And it's like
Something
titles,
and something.
Yep.
Yep.
The something and blank and of something and something. Court of Thorns and Roses.
Yeah.
The House of Something and Sorrow, or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like everything was something of something.
You got those little like Facebook pop-ups of like choose your month and
Right,
date of birth and
exactly.
color shirt you're wearing, and this is your book title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was true. And I think mine was always like the Hall of Flame and Shadow
Yeah.
or something. And I was just like, okay,
Yeah.
it sounds cool to me.
Yeah.
But
Like, I'll read it.
Yeah. I'd read it.
another artist that does books, but I've noticed that she does a lot of books for like Fairy Loot, and it's always the reverse dust jacket, because that's another thing that Fairy Loot does is they give you the original cover, but then they will also give you the alternate cover that they do because it's a special edition.
Mm-hmm.
And so another artist that I love is Rosie Thorns, and she does a lot of paper crafting.
Oh, okay.
So like I showed you the Once Upon a Broken Heart paper craft
Yeah.
art that she does. But another thing that she has been combining, because she is also just a genuinely good like digital artist and not just paper crafter, is she will combine the two. So like she did for the first one of Where the Library Hides, What the River Knows. She did this cover where the background was paper crafted, but the characters themselves were like colored in or like digitally artist. It was really cool. And I really like those, but the only problem I do not care for these covers is when you put the alternate covers on, it doesn't have the title on them. So then when you put them on the shelf, if I put all my special editions with the special sprayed edges outward so I can see the sprayed edges, but if I wanted to put it spine outward, I don't know the title. So I have to like memorize it, which I do for my sprayed edges because I have to know.
You have to do that for the sprayed edges anyways. The sprayed edges don't say the title
But
like
if it's-
99% of the time.
If it's a spine, then
You expect it.
I expect it, yeah.
Yeah. I
But
don't know. I think the cool thing about not having the name on the spine is kind of brings you back to that like old school library feel
yeah,
of like old leather bound books that don't have anything in them, or like that don't have anything on the cover or on the spine, so you have to like open it up to figure out what it is.
it's a monster book. That's all I can
a
think of.
monster.
It's a monster book, and it's a mimic, and it's just going to eat you. But yeah, is there any other? Sorry, you're hosting.
No, yeah, I mean go for it.
I went into host mode. Is there anything that you guys like look at a book that you're immediately attracted to, just like as you're passing by? Is there anything specific, like a specific color that draws your attention, or a specific like design that you've noticed?
I mean, I'm always more interested in like the darker stuff. So like
Okay.
if it's got like, blood on the cover or something like that, I don't know. I like kind of the darker feel of books. So usually those things will catch my eye of like, oh, I wonder what this creepy thing is. Not that I always read creepy books, but like it catches my eye because
Yeah.
I'm an inner goth kid at heart.
Well, you enjoy like listening and learning about serial killers, so
yeah.
that's I could see why that would
Just
attract you.
More like tragedies, but yeah.
Oh, tragedies, you say?
Well, I'd only listened to Ted Bundy. I don't think I've listened to any other serial killer books.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking like podcasts.
Oh
kind
yeah,
of
well
things,
podcasts, yeah, I listen to serial
Just
killers.
different form of
Cannibalism.
media.
Yeah.
Cannibalism's Marissa's thing, as we now know.
Yeah, cannibalism is apparently my thing. I have to defend myself on that, I feel like. Because like 90% of the time the cannibalism is justified. Like it is a form of survival. But it's because it's the survival part that gets to me.
Remind me when we are done and dissolving everything to talk about Yellow Jackets with you.
Oh yeah, we do need to talk about Yellow
Because I
Jackets.
messaged you and then I forgot to continue the conversation.
I don't think I replied to your message because I forgot about it.
Because you hate me.
Anyways, Yeah, so that's usually what grabs my attention is like darker, more morbid stuff would grab my attention rather than like, happy things or like I'd said, like a field with a chair or something. It's like that seems so boring to me, but like grab my attention with like a monster or like something creepy. Yeah, I'm probably going to be like, what's going on there?
What's going on there? Yeah.
Yeah.
What about so like how Girls of Paper and Fire had the second one had both, or was it the third one? I don't remember. Had both their faces on it.
Mm-hmm.
If you see two girls on the cover, would you be like, oh?
No, because
Okay.
I assume it's romance and I don't really care for that.
That's, yeah.
Even if it is gay romance and I want that, it's if I see two girls on the cover, I'm thinking it's because they're trying to push the romance of the girls.
Ah.
And I want to know more about the plot.
My original thought is friendship.
Oh, really?
They're friends.
They're
Yeah.
best
Sisters.
They were roommates.
I always get the sisters because remember we went through a phase where we'd always find sister books. Me and
Yeah.
Maris would always find
Oh,
sister
yeah.
books. So
Yeah.
get sisters.
How about
for me? It's always like kind of the fancy border around, like a gold border or whatever. That's kind of trying to like mimic the old school kind of leather bound style and stuff like that. If it has that kind of style, I'll tend to like stop and pick it up a little bit more. I'm like, ooh, that's pretty. What's this? So like kind of those kind of pretty old school kind of looking things tend to just like attract me to it. Other than that, like I don't really know. I think it depends on like my mood. A lot of times if things have like pretty like flowers and stuff on it, I'll be like, ooh, what's going on with the flowers? Let me read about the flowers and stuff like that. And fun things like, I mean, I'm literally tattooed and covered in flowers, so.
Shows how morbid I am. You said, look at the flowers. All I thought of was of mice and men.
Look at the flowers.
oh gosh.
That's how morbid I am.
Oh, gosh.
Jenna, look at the flowers versus looking at the skull and blood over the wall.
It's true, though.
Listen, guys. In Sunrise on the Reaping,
Oh, God.
there are flowers,
But they mean something.
but they lead to death. So
Oh.
it's the best of both worlds for both of you.
It's follow the flowers, not follow the butterflies.
Follow the flowers.
Is
What
it
about you,
rainbows
Megan?
for you, Megan?
Yeah, bright colors.
Yeah.
Anything that's bright colors. And I think that's what drew me to the Well Met series first. Was it was a bright color, and I was like, oh, Renaissance Fair, love it. And then other than that, definitely anything that's illustrated. We would get a lot of stuff in Owl Crate that had like illustrations. So like the Guinevere Deception, I loved the art style of that one. So I look on the back cover and I see the artist on it, and then I immediately Google them and see what other covers that they've done. And I could not tell you. I feel so bad for not being able to. I guess I could look it up. But the artist for like the Guinevere Deception, I read another book that they did the cover for. It was not good. But yeah, for me, it is, if it is bright, colorful, I will go for, like kind of Jenna said, if it has like just a cool design on it, I can go for those. But I also think if it just kind of captures a vibe, and I think it's like going to be so hard to describe for all of us,
Yeah.
this vibe that we want, like Jenna said, the mood that you're in for that day. So I will always have a list of books that I want to buy, but then of course you're not going to just go and buy those books and be like, I'm done.
Yeah.
You have to peruse. We have to like take our time and take a look. So for me, like seeing the Zodiac Academy books, I'm not attracted to those covers, but everyone says they're such good books. Have you read any of
I
them?
have not, but they're also on my TBR because I've heard they're amazing books.
Right.
I think they might be a little bit bully romance.
Yeah.
I think that's been hinted at pretty heavily.
That's I've heard people say
Yeah.
it's 100% a bully romance.
So I go into it with a grain of salt. I have to be in that right mindset.
Yeah. But because they're so popular, there's a ton of them on the shelf. So then okay, there's a reason that there's a ton of these because people want them. But other covers, I'm thinking of like Starling House by Alex E. Harrow, which has a bunch of starlings on it. It was designed in a way that made it look cluttered but drew my attention in. But I also knew I like Alex E. Harrow, so I knew what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Fun fact, Garth Nix just announced there's a new edition of Sabriel series.
Another one for you to buy?
I don't like it.
Oh,
It's
okay.
very bland.
The
and
first one
very,
you're not going to own.
I know. Like, out of loyalty, I feel like I have to at least buy the first one. But I'm not a big fan of... That's another one. Sabriel is an is a illustrated cover.
Wait, hold on. What if Garth Nix listened to our podcast? You
Sir.
did say that you would buy any one that he came out with, and he's like, all right, guys, another one.
That's the dream. Anyway, I think, Marissa, were you going to say something?
Oh, I was just going to say, so, because we talk about different versions and stuff like that, like, I'm not really the type of person to buy multiple versions of a book. Like, I bought 2 sets of the Parasol Protectorate because I wanted one that could stay with me and one that I could loan out, but it wasn't like I bought different versions of it.
There's a reason behind it.
Yeah.
And then you had no choice for the Jasmine Throne.
Yeah, but that
because
was...
it was a gift.
It was a gift, and it looks really cool on my shelf right now because I have it so the paperbacks that I read is the spine, so you can see it, and then right next to it is the...
So does it go paperback, hardback, paper?
Yeah.
Very
It
cool.
alternates, so you can
Very
see
cool.
the sprayed edges. But yeah, so I'm not the type of person that buys, like, different versions, but I am a little bit OCD and have to buy the same version if it's, like, of the same author or something. So, for example, Kurt Vonnegut, almost anytime I go out to a bookstore, I buy a Kurt Vonnegut book, but it has to match the covers of the ones I already have.
Okay.
And that is detrimental to me sometimes because I can't always buy them, because they don't always have a new one that matches the cover that I haven't read
Right.
yet.
And that was what
Yeah.
Jenna was saying was about an Ember the Ashes is you
Worst-
can't.
Most annoying thing in the world is when you want to have matching sets and you can't always have matching sets, but you want the matching set.
Yeah.
It's important. Look, guys, if you're going to come up with one book by this author, you have to make all the books match that book.
But the hard part is especially when it's an older author and it becomes classics and stuff, they get
Yeah.
different publishing companies that put out the book.
Right.
So, like, you're gonna find Lord of the Flies in like 50 different covers because different companies have published it now.
Yeah.
That's true.
Which was also really annoying because that meant that the pages would be different. So when you went to school and you were reading it and they said, read till this page, and you're
Right.
like, well, I can't. You have to give me a chapter.
Right.
That's true. Actually, that's a good point. Yeah, it's funny because I think that there's a part of me that really misses when we were younger and didn't have Book Talk and Bookstagram telling me what to read and what's popular. And I just go to Barnes & Noble and get to peruse and find what jumped out at me a little bit more.
Borders. Back when Borders was
yeah.
around.
And now it's like, now I tend to go and it's like, all I can see are the popular books that you see on Book Talk. And it's like, everything seems to be following trends, which is normal. But I feel like before the internet was so big, before the trends were so in your face, it was less like that. They had some trends that followed, but you'd find things all over the place. You know, the books didn't necessarily all look alike and stuff.
You said that you just went to like Barnes & Noble or Borders to peruse. The day I had PTO for Kubi night, and then Kubi night got canceled, and I got kind of upset about that. And I was trying to find something to do. I spent like an hour, maybe 2 hours at Barnes & Noble just walking around looking at books. And I was just looking to see if anything caught my eye that I wanted to buy. And I actually didn't buy anything that day. So I was pretty proud of myself.
So, but nothing caught your eye.
Yeah,
So
I mean, there were different things that like I picked up, and I'm like, maybe. But like I said, I haven't been in a reading mood lately. So it was one of those things where it was nothing that I thought could get me out of my reading slump. So I didn't grab anything.
I also find now, though, too, like, I also miss a time where I'd go to Barnes & Noble and stuff and just come home with, like, 10, 20 books because I just got caught up in books. Now, obviously, I have a kid, so I have to think a little bit more about my finances. But also, with the prevalence of e-readers and Libby and stuff like that, where it's so easy, and Goodreads, I tend to add things to my Goodreads more than I buy the book and stuff like that, which is good, but also kind of ruins the experience of just buying books willy-nilly.
Yeah.
and basing them on the cover, because now I can look it up and find any cover I want of a book.
Right. And that's the nice thing of like Goodreads, not on the app specifically, but on the website of Goodreads, you can go in and like look at the different editions of each book.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I always change the editions to match what I have in my like
Oh, wow.
possession. So like since I have the special edition Fairy Loot versions of Once Upon a Broken Heart, I can now go into them because the American covers are garbage.
Yeah, I don't like them very
It's
much.
like a misty, like powdery, foggy thing with like this weird abstract design, and then Once Upon a Broken Heart, and that's it. Whereas the other ones are like actual storytelling is
Yeah.
written or is printed on the covers. So I do that, but you can't do it on the app, which is stupid. Goodreads, listen.
Can you fix your app?
Fix this app so I can change the editions. I can do it on Storygraph,
Yeah.
willy-nilly, easy. But Goodreads needs to step up. Yeah.
All right. What else do we have to talk about?
Yeah,
'Cause I'm running down this. We're at 32 minutes, which
Let
is
me-
really like 30 minutes, maybe.
Let me look at my books.
My husband tried to call me, of course. It's funny, I was looking through Instagram and looking at books just in general and trying to think, like, would I pick this book up? Would I pick this book up? Would I pick this book up? And it's funny because to me, I've noticed, like, the thing with the rom-com books that we kind of got into is always kind of the same style of
Yes.
of
It's a bright
person.
Yes. cover
Pastel bright cover.
with not detailed
Yes.
people.
Yep. And like they may or may not have facial features.
Exactly.
And there's always the male and the female, and they're in some way that shows the general idea of the book, which has more to do with the title than anything else.
Yes.
It doesn't necessarily tell you anything about the book. Like Beach Read, I think, actually had them on beach towels or something.
Even though they
Even though
they never did that in the book. They
and it never happened in the book.
It never happened in the book.
They were in Michigan, so like their
Yeah.
beach was one of
The
the
lake.
large lakes
That we
which
do
I
not know
guess-
about.
Yes, but yeah,
That we don't know about.
well,
What?
we know about them. But
Well,
we
like
just
I couldn't tell you what lake they were on.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Was it Lake Michigan? I have no idea.
Lake Superior,
Like Erie.
I don't know. I don't know anything about those lakes.
I've seen 2 of them.
I don't know which ones I've seen, but I know I've been to them.
Yeah,
Oh, you have?
been on Lake.
My dad's
Erie.
from Detroit.
Yeah,
Where's Detroit?
in Michigan.
Okay.
It's the capital.
It's the
Michigan.
capital of Michigan.
Okay, give me a second while I remember Yakko's state song.
Oh, love it. I can recite it for you. I forget when Mom moved to Mississippi and we were driving down to Mississippi, all I could think of was that state song, and I just kept singing it over and over in my head.
I remembered it in 5th grade. Yeah. Okay, sorry to bring it up again. I'm so sorry. I have 2
Sunrise
things.
on the Reaping.
Yes. I am so shocked that they have kept those covers. Granted, there has been
Yes.
other editions of them, but they have kept those covers for 12 years, and that Sunrise on the Reaping matches that cover. Like, I'm just blown away.
I will say I did very much appreciate that. I appreciate, like, because imagine those people that originally bought the, first edition or, early
First
on
printing, yeah.
of the Hunger Games, and they're like diehard fans, and they imagine how disappointing it would be 12 years later to have something come out that didn't match it.
I know. And then you have to then buy. They did just come out, like Target came out with their exclusive editions
Yeah.
with like the sprayed edges. So I ended up buying those, and I was super disappointed that Sunrise on the Reaping does not immediately come out in a cover. So I just got the ebook because I know it will come out eventually, and I will add it to my list. But I have to wait.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really shocked about that. Another one that I specifically remember from Border Days was going through Borders, and every time my brother and I would go, we'd look up 3 authors, and it was James Patterson is the next Maximum Ride book out. And then we'd also look up if there's like a new Sweet book or a Daughters of the Moon book, or if there was a new Garth Nix book. So that's like I guess that's technically 4 authors. But I remember seeing Cinder on the shelves.
Yeah.
And I remember looking at that and going, huh, because the Cinder is you just see a foot in a high heel, and it looks like a foot silhouette, but inside you like see the like
Wires.
Yeah, the
cyborg,
mechanical-
yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember looking at that going, huh, that's weird. And then like, I'll never read that book. And wishing I had, wishing I had not judged the book by its cover and had enjoyed it. But also, I am glad that when I did read it, all of the books were out.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to worry about it.
I would have forgot too much about what was going on in each one.
Exactly.
I think the funny thing is like for me, I mean, I definitely judge books by the cover and stuff like that. But I'm noticing more and more that if I get hooked on an author, I don't care about the cover as much.
Yeah, I
so
agree.
it's like if I like the author, I'll be like, all right, I have to read that book. But now that I have the option of doing things on an e-reader, I don't necessarily have to feel judged by other people seeing me with the cover of the book either.
Yeah, that is a plus side to it. I think sometimes, not all the time, I try to get myself past that, but there are times that it's like, I look and I think, what book do I want to be seen out in public with when I make that decision of like when we had that reading night, the silent reading book club or whatever that your friend had, and I told Jenna, I'm like, I was trying to decide which book did I want to bring. Did I want to bring my poetry book? Did I want to bring this? Because I felt like I was going to be judged depending on what book I brought.
Oh.
Yeah, I totally will think about stuff like that too, especially if I'm going in public and reading and I'm like, oh, do I really want to be seen reading this book? Am I ready to open up about talking about this book?
I think the thing for me is not so much that like I don't want people to think I read this book. I don't want people to think that's like my main book that I would go to for it. Because it's like, even though I might like, I like reading the fantasy books and I like those, and there are some books that we have that I think would, if I took them out and was reading them in public, I would be like, they'd look at me and be like, oh, she's reading the young adult fantasy, so she's into young adult fantasy, and nothing wrong with that, but I have so much more that I feel like I identify with on a stronger scale.
So you pull 4 books.
Yeah.
And you're like, here's my broad.
Exactly. I just stack them up on the table.
And then you like read one, someone gives you a weird look, you grab another one.
You grab the other one and change it. But like, yeah, like I'll go to, there's a barbecue place right down the street from me, that Jenna and I like to go to. And every once in a while, I'll just go there for dinner. Like, hey, I have extra money this week. I'll go out there and I'll eat. But I go by myself. And I don't want to look weird by myself, so I bring a book.
Yeah.
And lately I've been bringing my poetry books over there. And I'm like, now everybody that sees me there thinks that all I read is poetry.
You're bougie.
Yeah, I'm just that like hipster that goes to
We're judging a reader by the book.
place to read.
If you were a real
Poetry.
hipster, Marissa, you'd go to like a hummus place.
I know, I'd go to the coffee shop that's like across the street from it. That's a tea and coffee shop that literally sells like 5 different things.
Yeah. We're judging the reader by their cover, though, is what it is.
Oh, there you
That's
go.
what it is. You're judging the reader by the cover of the book they're
Yeah.
reading.
No, I get it. For me, like, even though I like contemporary romance, I don't always want to take a contemporary romance out because I think that people just assume I'm reading it for the smut.
Yeah.
And it's like, you just assume people think that that's what you're reading it for. And it's like, no, I'm not. I'm really not.
You know what's interesting though now is I feel like smut is hidden. Not
Yeah,
hidden,
yeah.
but it's like
Their
It's-
whole thing is a discreet cover.
well, so it's like
cover.
because they have like those super generic like words on the cover with a weird abstract design on it. You don't know what you're getting into. So you could buy a book and be like, "Oh yeah, this is definitely one of those smutty books," and there's like nothing in it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest. If I saw somebody reading Fourth Wing before I knew what Fourth Wing had in it and what it was about, I would never assume that it had smut as bad as it does.
I would have
Yeah.
thought it was like a Top Gun style book.
I would have thought it was just, your typical, maybe like more young adult version of Game of Thrones, or just, your typical young adult fantasy book. But it's not. It's
Very much not.
not young adult.
So, okay. When I go out and I see someone reading, I do not judge them. I just look at the book and be like, can I talk to this person?
Oh, I judge
That's
them.
because you're an extrovert.
Because
Yes.
the extrovert in me is just like, can we be friends? And then if I do see that they're like reading something and I'll be like, oh, hey.
See, that also makes me think, who do I want to attract with my book? if I'm sitting there and I'm reading
A repellent.
exactly. Well, it's like if I'm reading like my Kurt Vonnegut books and somebody sees me reading that, I want them to come up there and start talking to me about Kurt Vonnegut and go in depth on his commentary on society and war and government and all of that stuff.
Nah. It's going to be a dude who wants your number.
Well, yeah, but that'd be funny. But that's what I mean, though, is like I would rather it be somebody who understands what Kurt Vonnegut's about and want to talk to me about it. But if I'm reading something that's like romance more based, I'm like, I don't want anybody to come talk to me about this. I just want this to be my own little circle.
Yeah.
I don't want to make new friends over this one.
Huh.
Yeah.
I genuinely, that's like weird to me because I just want all the friends. Like even Haley in our writing group, she's like, can I add some of my like fan fiction writers? And I was like, you can't say that to me and be like, Megan, can I introduce you to someone? I'm never going to say no because the potential of new friendships to me is like so appealing.
I'm scared of new friendships.
Marissa.
There's so many steps to a new friendship.
And then there's expectations that come with friendships.
Right.
I can't do that.
And then is this an actual friendship or is this a surface level friendship? If I say something aloud, is it going to be weird?
Yeah.
Are you gonna then want to hang out with me? And then if I don't hang out with you, you're gonna think that I'm not a good friend, even though it's just that I'm busy.
We've spent
Or
like
the fact that I don't like to hang out with people that often.
Right.
Like, it has to be very specific conditions that I hang out with people.
we've been friends for like 20 years now. The fact that we haven't gotten rid of you yet. Yeah, we're good.
Look, it doesn't matter. We've discussed the fact that I have every single one of my D&D group of friends, with the exception of Haley, who I feel like has stuck her foot in enough that she might as well have been friends with me since high school, has known me long enough that if we had a baby when we met, it could now legally drink, probably.
Seriously.
So I know every single one of you more than 2 decades. And yet I still overthink to the extreme every single time we're about to do D&D.
Yes.
To the point where I'm like, am I prepared to see these people as if you're suddenly going to turn on me and hate me in like a second? My social anxiety is the worst.
If I say that I want to cancel these plans, are they going to think that I hate them that I canceled these plans, even
Right.
though it's because
Even though I have a very legitimate medical reason.
Exactly.
Do they think that I hate them because I'm in the hospital? Like, can I cancel the plans? I'm in the hospital. Guys.
I'm pretty sure when she was in the hospital, because we were supposed to have D&D at one point when
Literally,
she got
like,
admitted.
the next day after I got admitted.
And she was all like, I have to tell them I can't get admitted because I have D&D tomorrow. And if I cancel that, then everybody's going to be so disappointed.
Everyone's gonna be mad at me if I can't go to D&D, and I host it, and like literally my social anxiety is so bad that I went to the hospital to get blood transfusions. It took all day, and I made my mother-in-law make the turkey for our D&D because I couldn't tell you guys that I couldn't make the turkey. Oh. Yeah, I have bad social anxiety.
Yeah.
This is what it's like to be an introvert.
I just
Get the inside scoop on introverts.
yeah.
You've opened our covers and are now reading what's inside.
You
And
judged
it
us by your cover, and you were wrong. You thought we were cute, happy extroverts, but really.
But the thing is, like, the thing about me is I half the time don't realize that people are introverts until they straight up tell me, because I'm like, you're not an introvert with me. Like, we can be loud and like rambunctious.
Oh yeah.
So then but then like I'm just like, wait, what? Then there's other people who I'm just like, oh yeah, you're definitely an introvert.
Yeah. I like the opposite is true for Jenna's husband.
Oh yeah.
Because he thinks he's an introvert.
Oh yeah.
He's not an introvert.
My salesman husband, who can talk to anyone for any reason whatsoever,
Who has to say hi if he recognizes somebody he hasn't seen in 20 years.
he's like, "Hey, we sat next to each other in 3rd grade." And I'm like, Jelani, they don't want to say hi to you.
And see, I'd be on his end, because I'd be like, obviously these people are reading this book in public. They want me to talk to them.
Right.
They are in public, which means they are inviting friendships. Like the one time I went to an ice skating rink and I was like, "Is that a BTS sticker on your water bottle?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, BTS, I love them." And she's like, "Yeah, me too." And I was just like, "So, who's your favorite? What's your favorite song? Did you go to their concert?" And she's just like, Yeah. And then my friend Maya was like, Megan,
They do not want to be a friend.
let's go. And I was just like, I made a new friend. And she's like, no, you didn't.
I have to really think about it too, because like there are times that I go out, and when I go out, like I put that thought of like maybe I do want to talk to somebody new today, and then I go out and do it. And I'm like, no, I don't.
I actually
Don't stay
do
away
not.
from me.
I like how far off topic we've gotten.
Hey,
I
I
don't
tried
know.
to bring it back with you opened up our covers to see what's inside, but then we kept going.
But
We
I love
tied
you
it
guys.
in.
Yeah, yeah.
We've-
This is what podcasts are all about, is going off topic.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Otherwise, we would have had a 30-minute podcast that you guys cut down to 20 minutes.
Yeah, look, we're at 47 now. We're great.
we're just doing so well.
Yeah,
Ooh.
it's funny because I think that there's a lot of judgment that I think about. I genuinely do as a person who is so socially awkward, where I look at a book and I think, what are people going to think of me if they see me reading this book in public? Or what are they going to think of it on my bookshelf if they're in my house? Should I care because you're then in my house? No, I shouldn't, but I do. And then I look at my bookshelf and then I judge myself for my bookshelf. And so, yeah, don't worry. There's a lot of judgment going on.
Well, the problem too is that like when I'm at somebody's house and I'm very socially awkward, like I even do this when I go visit my friend Steven, because he's a reader. He has books, and like most of his books I think are in his room, but like most of his books are in his room, but I think he's got some in his front room too. And it'll be like whenever there's just downtime and I'm just sitting there and like maybe two people are talking, I'll like just look over and look at the bookshelf and see what books are on the bookshelf. And
Yep. Oh, yeah, that's like my favorite thing when you go to like hotels and they have like a little library at the bottom and I go look at the books and see what books are on the bookshelf, or Airbnbs. And I'm always disappointed because it's like 5 books that I'd never read
yeah.
and a Bible.
Oh, we have like a lending library thing at our work.
Oh,
and
yeah, I was always disappointed in that too.
yeah, I always go up there and I'm like, oh, what books do we have? Absolutely nothing I want to read. So,
I liked when I was doing a lot of meetings through Google Meets or whatever it was, and I would always see a bookshelf behind them, and I'd be like, what's on your bookshelf? And they'd be like, oh yeah, here's my self-help shelf. And I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm not interested anymore.
And you lost me.
I've been watching a lot of reaction videos and stuff, and there's this one YouTuber, and in her background I can see like 5 books, and I can only read 2 of them on the covers, so I want to know what the other 2 are. One of them is the Jasmine Throne, and the other one is Legends and Lattes. And I'm like,
I must know.
I want to know what your other books are.
Imagine if it's like how Rory Thorne destroyed the multiverse, and you're just like, wait a second.
Hold on.
What is this? Are you a fan? Because we've talked about those.
Literally just the books that we've annotated for each other.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
I'm fairly certain that those have been on her shelf long before we were recording, so
What if we're the fans and
What
we
if-
didn't know?
we just didn't know that that's how we...
Inception.
Interesting. Okay, guys, I have an important question for you.
Okay.
If you were a book cover and it displayed yourself, what would your book cover design be? That if we could like
I wanted to
possibly
make a really bad joke about I'd just be a very boring book with just white words.
no, just social anxiety. What if they come over?
With lots of little notes in the sides that are all scratched out and people.
See, no, that's a good book
Yes.
cover. All the scratched out notes on the side. That's great. I don't know. I'd like to think I would be... I'd probably be something steampunk, right? Because I just like
Yeah.
steampunk. So I'd like to think I'd be like a dark cover with golden edged like gears and stuff like that around the sides.
Ooh.
Some skulls in there somewhere. Like I said, a little
Ooh.
goth kid at heart.
Like skull gears.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. I don't know how they would turn. But
skull
They
gear.
just it'd be like a gear, but you'd have like a little skull in the center of it.
oh, okay. I was thinking like a skull shaped. Like the skull shaped gear
yeah.
with the little thing.
Maybe it's a bunch of skulls and like the teeth part or the little like teeth of the gear.
Yeah, that's pretty darn cool. That's pretty cool.
The book would be very boring in of itself, but the cover would be amazing.
I don't think you're boring. You guys are talking about how boring you guys You guys are part of a podcast.
People listen to us talk.
You read about cannibals. And then Jenna...
The gears are actually people eating other people.
Jeez. Okay. I was trying to see if I could like design these for a carousel, and I'm like, nope, not anymore.
Like, you could design it. You might not be able to design the people eating other people, but
We'll go into like AI or whatever and be like, design a book cover with skull gears. And then
that are eating other people.
Chat GPT can come up with your title. Marissa is a blah, 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 blah.
What's your book cover, Megan?
Probably something bright, rainbowy. I honestly feel like my book cover would probably just be my like love story with Hanson, and it'd be like the two romantic, generic,
not
faceless,
very,
not very detailed,
just like red hair on white skin with freckles.
And then Hanson would be black hair on slightly tan skin.
Yeah.
And then there'd probably be a soccer ball there. But there'd be a lot of... Well, okay. I would be the colorful one, and he would be the drab gray one. The gray one. Because even we were just talking the other night about how he's like, I like gray. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And he's like, I kind of wish our house had less color. And I was like, nope. Sorry. I need to live here, too. So, you know...
You married the wrong person if you want less color.
Right. For our wedding invitations, it was rainbow watercolor.
Yeah.
And then when he saw them, he was like, I said, oh, I want to go for something simple. And he was like, yeah, that's a great idea. And I said, okay, here's what I came up with. And I like bought it and showed it to him. And he was like, oh, I thought you meant simple like gray. And I was like, no, rainbow watercolor. So for our Korean wedding, he got to pick the invitations, and it was like a single embossed butterfly, and that was it.
Sees us staring.
We're staring up at the wall.
You guys aren't talking to me. You guys are literally like
Talking
eyes
to
to
the
the
ladybug.
corner.
Where did it go?
We're missing.
God, I hope it's a ladybug.
I think it is. It kind of moves in like a
Ladybug
slow
type pattern.
ladybug, and it's circular.
Yeah.
In some cultures, ladybugs, if you find one, they're considered good luck.
Yeah, that's what Jenna said today.
Oh, hey.
Because one was climbing on her today,
Yeah,
and
I
she
literally
screamed.
Oh,
Well, in all fairness, I saw it out of the corner of my eye, and it was like on my leg, and so all of a sudden it just looked like my leg was moving, and I thought giant spider because I'm very
of course,
arachnophobic.
yeah.
And so I screamed a little bit, and then I saw that it was Ladybug, and immediately calmed down. I was like, "Oh, I can pick you up."
She made me have a heart attack because
But
she
I-
screamed so loud.
I did make her a little scared. It's fine.
Yeah, Hanson always says, "Oh, your friend's here," and then we'll point at the ceiling. And most of the times, it's like a little spider, and so I just
Yeah.
kind of grab it and just take it outside.
Yeah, don't do that stuff. It's dead. It's dead if it's in my house.
Oh.
We don't do spiders.
Jumping spiders I do keep in my house because they are very good for
Look.
keeping the pests away.
Jelani asks all the time if he can have a pet jumping spider.
I-
The answer is always no.
They're so cute though.
That's what he says. You and my husband can hang out and talk about your friendly
In our-
pet jumping spiders.
Extrovertedness. Talk about office
Yes.
and jumping spiders.
All right, guys. We are, luckily, and depending on how much we
It's fine.
put in this, we are getting close to that hour mark. So I think we
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
start finishing this up. Do we have any finishing comments on book covers?
If I ever have a book out in the world, I would desperately, desperately hope that it would be a Charlie Bowater book cover.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know Charlie Bowater, I suggest you look her up. I'll actually, for our carousel, I'll be taking pictures of my favorite covers.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Awesome. What about you, Jenna?
I don't know. I think that if I had a pretty book cover that I could be, I'd be a leather bound beautiful edition of everything. That's what I'd want. But I want all my books to be beautiful and leather bound, as you can tell by my collection, with beautiful sprayed edges and or gold edges. But that's
A gold edge that when you, like, bend it, it has
Yes.
the painting on it.
Oh, yes, all of that. That would be my ideal cover.
Special end papers.
Yep. Yep. Oh, yeah. All my books. If I could, I'm gonna have to learn how to bookbind and also become very talented and make my own books and leather bound every single one of my books.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
And then finally, your Ember and the Ashes would match.
Yes. And I would not have to feel judged by my books, because I feel like people would walk in and be like, ooh, look at her, she's so classy. Then they'd look closer and be like, an ember in the ash? I didn't know that was leather bound. What's that book? Is it a classic? I've never heard of it.
Beach Read.
Beach Read by Emily Henry.
That was so good. It's like this beautiful. Oh, that brought tears to my eyes. It's like this beautiful leather-bound book, and everyone just like. And then, also, your face as you did it was so good. It was just
My squint.
your squint.
It was perfect.
Oh, that was good. That's Hall of Fame. That would be one of our ratings.
Yeah.
Beach Read.
Oh my gosh. I can't top that. Now we gotta end on that note.
On that note, yeah.
On that note. All right. Jenna, where can they find us?
Instagram, Facebook, anywhere you listen to podcasts, the Broadless Book Guild podcast. Rate, review, subscribe, all those fun things. We've lost the Ladybug officially. But no, please interact with us, guys. I beg every time, and hope one day you'll listen.
We should actually like title this episode "Featuring Ladybug."
Featuring Ladybug. Will do. All right.
Oh, I do see the mosquito eater though.
Is it going to be a battle? Battle of the Ladybug versus the mosquito
No,
eater?
ladybugs, except for the one from Bug's Life, are very gentle.
I love the one from the
So good.
Was it Francis or something like that? Yeah. It's a French name.
Oh,
All right. Anyways. All right. With that, guys, we will end this on a quote. And this quote is by David Pearson. It says, "The cover of a book is the beginning of a conversation between the author and the reader."
And the person judging them.
And the person judging them. And Megan when she sees you reading it.
When she sees you
I don't
reading.
judge anybody. I just want to be your friend.
Right.
No, but it's a conversation.
Oh, the conversation. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
me.
All right, guys. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.